All right. What we're going to do is we're going to start a segment on PDSA. This is going to be phase one. Phase one is the plan. Some people ask, what actually is a PDSA? A PDSA is very simple. It's a plan, a continuous improvement plan to reach a goal. Now, the overall plan or is where you're going to start. That's what the plan is. That's what the first phase is. All right, your plan is going to consist of a couple things, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But just to let you know, it is a continuous model. It is a continuous improvement model, and it's supposed to help you get better in the process of what you're doing, or the content that you're teaching, or you can apply it to any aspect of your life. The P in PDSA is for plan, as I said earlier, and it is the beginning of where you start. What does a plan consist of? It consists of a couple different things. You obviously want some definite dates of when things are going to be completed or when you're going to reach that strategic goal that you set. The strategic goal is going to be what you're trying to get at. What's your goal that you want to achieve? Whether it be a personalized PDSA or class, grade level, or school, or any kind of organizational PDSA, you have some goals that you're trying to get to. For the students, or anyone else in that matter, the goals are written as I can statements. Like, for example, in an I can statement, if you're trying to teach, mathematics and integers or multiplication would be your starting point on what you're trying to teach. One of the goals might say for students, I can, give all my multiples of 3. I can give all my multiples of 5. I can list all those. If you're in any other subject, I can list the causes of the Civil War, or I can list the results of the Civil War. So it's always something that you're trying to achieve, and the easiest way is said in I can statements. Now, I will statements are what the students will do, and that will be later on in the actual do part. A good strategic goal has the percentage of students that will reach the goal, which is usually a score. Now, usually what I've seen in the past, it will say 100% of the students or all the students in the class will be able to score an 80 or above on the actual assessment. Very basic. The more transparent your plan is for your students and everyone involved, the easier it will be to actually apply that process, apply that plan, and so everyone can understand it. Now, whenever you set your percentage, one thing that one of the don'ts, one of the things that I wouldn't do, I wouldn't say I suggested 50% of the class, because with No Child Left Behind, all students have to get to the strategic goal. That's your goal. Every single student, 100%, or all of the students in my class. When you think about the strategic goal, you need to think about what they call the Hawaiian phrase ohana, and ohana means family. When one move, we all move. The I can statement. This will be your statement of goals. They are easier to assess when they are broken down into smaller, short-term goals. Like, for example, if you say we're going to talk about any kind of long-term goal, something you might see at the benchmark, you might want to break it down into smaller segments. You want to align your quizzes and your assessments. You want to have those aligned to the CAs, your common assessment, and you want to have those common assessments aligned to the benchmark, and the benchmark aligned to the actual end of grade test. That's why everything should align and everything should have an objective tag to it that you're doing. So if you break it down into shorter, short-term goals, and if you break it down into smaller chunks and it's easily digested by the kids and students that you have. An example of I can statements. If you see, I think I taken these from language arts. I think I taken one from, yes, I've taken both of these from language arts. And if you look at them, it says I can identify details within a text to understand, analyze, and make inferences. Now, you could break those down to simpler I can statements. I can identify details within a text to understand. I can analyze a text. I can make inferences based on what I've read. See, just on that one statement, I've made 3 I can statements. The next one says I can recognize theme or main idea within a text and create an accurate summary with no bias. Again, it is up to your discretion if you want to break those down into smaller I can statements. So you can actually make 7 or 8 I can statements or goals based on these long-term goals that you see. The key, how we're 100% get to that goal or target. That's what you want to do. You want to get to the every single child. That's why it's big to have differentiation in your plans. That way you can reach high, middle, and low, and children that have different learning styles. So if you can address every learning style, high level, medium level, and low level, you should reach all your children and give them the best chance to be successful in reaching that goal. The next thing you will hear will be the do.